if there is no problem with the acceptance of agenda, we'll just go ahead and approve it. If there's no objection, we'll move on. Presentations, there is none. Public hearing, none. The minutes, I need a motion.
Motion. Second.
Okay, there's been a proper motion, proper second. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, is everybody ready to vote? All in favor of the minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. No, passes unanimously. All right. Citizens' comments. Let's see what we got.
Nothing.
We have no citizens' comments, but the summer is coming, so we'll get those. Oh, thank you for doing that. Yes, sir. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. And under ordinance, let's see, consent agenda, nothing this evening, and under ordinances and resolutions, we have one. No, we do not. We do not have any, but we do have one item under the special call meeting for other agenda items, and that is the discussion of ordinance of 2024-02, an ordinance amending, hold on. Yes, that's correct. Amending the Hendersonville Municipal Code. No, I'm sorry.
That's general.
Yes, I am so sorry. I am looking. I tell you, I really appreciate it. Let me tell you this. You know, sometimes you're an idiot or you're dumb or you're just not paying attention to what you've got. And I'm a witness to that tonight. So I apologize. I was looking at the wrong agenda. So 20 lashes with a whip for Skidmore tonight.
But you covered everything we had to cover. So
Yes, I did. So it's
And
shaking and baking. So
And let the record show that the agenda we approved was Public Works, not.
yeah, that's right. Oh my God. And in Public Works, yes, it is. So the record definitely will reflect that. But anyway, back to reality here. Skidmore coming back in from Mars. We're under ordinances, seriously, under our ordinances and resolutions tonight, we have a reading of the resolution 2024-14, a resolution accepting a bid from West Pro, Tennessee for the city's trash collection. And I need a motion.
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. There's been a proper motion, a proper second. Now discussion. Does anyone like to discuss it? Yes, sir.
I do. I would like to, on the third whereas, Mayor, since you're the sponsor, I would like to put in probably after with limited bulk, words to this effect, and including an inclusion for backdoor service for residents with medical conditions. That's probably worded very poorly, but I wanted to make sure that in the resolution that we are allowing for medical exceptions for backdoor service. So maybe if is this on for tonight? It's not on for tonight. So if we can get Lance to give the proper words. You follow me what I'm saying?
Do you only want that in the whereas, or do you want that down below? And whereas is fine because I'm going to follow the conversation really, so it's going to come down.
Wherever.
Okay.
Where I just want that in the record that we are offering for medical exceptions, backdoor service, free backdoor service.
Okay.
Limited bulk and inclusion for backdoor. That would be inclusion for backdoor service and also backdoor service per medical exceptions, or if there's medical exceptions, have backdoor service. Does everybody understand that? Now there's been an amendment.
It's a good amendment.
Okay, so I need a motion for the to amend.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, there's been a proper motion and second, and any discussion on that issue right there? Anybody?
They're
Okay.
just making a proposal to amend it. We'll still
Yes,
amend
sir.
the board.
Waste Pro did have an allowance of 5% of medical exemptions to the city, at no
Okay.
cost to the city. So when we talk with the city attorney, if we feel that needs to be
Yes.
in the language as well, we'll add that.
Feel free.
Okay. So anything beyond 5% would
Yeah.
be the city's burden,
Mhm.
but the first 5% would be.
Okay, that's good because I thought it was 2.
I did too.
Oh, it originally was? Okay.
Yes.
So 5%. Okay, well, yeah, ask Lance about that, our city attorney. and see, if it needs to be. It is important, especially in our districts, both of ours. We do have a lot of seniors, citizens that would probably pursue this. So it may be, even if it's not necessary, I mean, this is just my opinion, we might still want to include it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Obviously.
I want to include it because it provides a paper trail, all the way through the discussion that was part of the contract.
So what I like about it is I can do what I think y'all want me to do and follow it, and I can point to what's written here. This is what the committee, this is what the board asked me to do. And so having that in there is fine. It just helps me a little bit.
Well, we'll still ask Lance about that. I'm just curious as to see what he says, We can touch base and let him know that we're make sure that we've done everything correctly in the process. But I'm in agreement with Eddie, and I trust Alvin Martin is the same way on that. That probably needs to be included because I was trying to think. Your district is you've got some part of yours is a lot of it too.
Yeah.
So okay, yes, very much. So I was trying to think because I used to represent that area, Ward 1 and 3. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out about the 5%. Any other discussion on the resolution 2024-14? Does anybody need the resolution repeated? Because this is dealing with our garbage. So, is there anything on the resolution? Of course, even if it passes tonight, if you're like me, you get back in your car or in your bedroom at night after me, go, oh man, I should have asked that question, But we'll still have another shot at it at the Board of Mayor and Alderman. So, hearing none, is everybody ready to vote? Yes. Yes, by all means.
Is there, we were just discussing it, if there's still a la carte options with this contract, or is that off the table?
Well, there is for backdoor. So if you want to add on backdoor, you can. For twice a week, that was only if it was citywide. So the twice a week a la carte is not an option. Backdoor is. And then the bulk limited versus unlimited was citywide option as well. So what you can add on is backdoor service.
Twice a week in summer. I've had many people ask that. Can you do a la carte?
It wasn't bid by anyone.
So what we're looking at though is we're looking at seeing if people could hire a different company to come during the summer, and that's an option. And I have given out those companies' names in the past to people.
That's a question.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I just know, I think we didn't originally, but if that's something that's of a focus that we need to bring back as a potential add-on, I can go and check, 'cause now that it's really been narrowed down as to what the service is. So, no different.
An ad alternate for adding bulk.
For adding like the second pickup.
I've had
So twice a week.
constituents for summer ask if they could pay an additional pickup because of the flies and all so bad, so I didn't know.
And I'm not sure whether I can or can't, but like as we go through the negotiations or whatever, if that's something of some
Yeah.
interest.
I'd like to see that, Lord.
We'll be happy to. I can't make any promises that I'll come back with anything, but I can.
And I realize that price is going to be significant.
Right, it's kind of just like the price, for, say, subscription backdoor where you're not medical. There's just a cost to it, but we can work
And then
that
the
out.
residents that select it get an invoice from you guys.
This might be perfect. Look at this up.
Yeah.
We'll find that. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
One other thing I would like to discuss too, and see if the committee would direct staff to pursue talking with Waste Pro and with our city attorney. One of the items that potentially, we had a little bit of concern with on the bid was that for add-on backdoor service, there's no way for the city to hold Waste Pro accountable. And Waste Pro is amenable to some type of accountability. We just haven't fleshed that out yet.
Okay.
So if we would, discuss it with the vendor and with Waste Pro, they're amenable to have some type of standard for misses on
Okay,
as an
penalties?
individual, if you add on backdoor.
Oh,
And
okay.
because
And it's
Waste
outside
Pro
of our
it's
contract.
kind of outside of our
Yeah.
control, but we still want to be able to ensure that we have stable, consistent service, even for those
Okay,
people who are
well,
adding
yes,
that
I
on.
would ask you to do that. As chairman, I would ask you to have further discussions with Westboro about that. Because that's important. I mean, in my past dealing with garbage contracts, it's been an issue.
And Waste Pro has been far below the threshold that we've had for misses. So
Right.
I don't anticipate it being an issue, but it is a way that BOMA can ensure some consistency and accountability, even for those services that maybe aren't directly under their purview.
Right.
So Sarah and I will work with city attorney and Lori
Okay.
and the Waste Pro team.
Well, all right, when are you going to have that prior to the board
Yes, sir.
either voting this resolution up or down?
Yes,
Okay.
we already have, we have basically standard for misses that's already built into
Right.
the contract. So
Yeah.
we might just find some way to include.
Incorporate
The
that
standalone backward.
language in the contract. Okay. Are you amenable to that too?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right, Mayor, does that sound good to you?
It sounds better than I expected when I walked in the door.
Okay, Rachel, good? Good, all right. Committee, feel good about it? All right.
I will say, I think Waste Pro was very responsive when we had the bad weather. We got things back on track, so I appreciate that.
Okay. And Mark, how do you feel about it? Are you good with it as well?
Yes, I like the options.
Okay, good deal.
Thank you.
I do too.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. All right. Any further discussion on the resolution this evening for this to go to the Board of Mayor and Alderman? Does anybody need the resolution repeated or discussed?
Just one line.
Yes,
This
sir.
is a recommendation, a positive recommendation.
Yes, sir, it
correct?
is. Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right. Okay, here, anybody else? Good questions all around. Okay. We'll go ahead and vote then, hearing, since there's no other discussion on it at this time. Resolution 2024-14 is a resolution accepting a bid from Waste Pro for the city's trash collection with everything included that we discussed tonight with y'all's discussion with Waste Pro that will be talked about at the BOMA meeting. Possible penalties or whatever in the language in that section. Okay, all in favor? And also the limited, which has already gone on record, but the backdoor for a discussion for the backdoor service limited, and also for medical acceptance, also include on backdoor, which is going to be put in the ordinance, but it needs to ask Lance Ray, about our city attorney, if there's any problem with that. Okay, with all that being said, all in favor of resolution 2024-14 going to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, it passes unanimously on to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. All right. Let me make sure that I don't mess this up this time. Okay, now under our other agenda items, that was so funny. I started looking at that and I was so into my spiel. I was going, this doesn't sound right. Wrong committee. Under other agenda items, we've got one, and that is trash collection on a communication plan for the city and everybody. So
That'll be me, I suppose. It's my
you, okay, I didn't know who was going to do it. That's all you.
So I think in your packet, you guys were given a copy of the plan we've put together so far. We have our key components. We want to make sure we are including all of our messaging at the top. We have shared around a copy of what the first communication will look like. It's a mailer. It'll obviously be printed on much nicer paper with a machine who knows how to fold better than me, because I obviously did not fold these that great. We're contracting with a local printing company to help us with this. And so the letter's on the inside. You can read through that. We have an option for questions. One of the big pieces is that I will be creating a dedicated webpage that will focus just on this so that people can go and get updates. We'll have copies of the communications that have gone out there to date with the dates that they went out, so people can see that as an archive. We are creating a way for them to input questions, and then we will go through those and kind of take the most common ones and give answers and keep FAQ published on the website. help alleviate any issues with that. We'll have obviously references to Public Works where they can reach that for questions, and just the general info as the service goes. This page will transition to the main page once the service goes live in July. But this was a way to kind of help house the information because we clearly have another service running with different rules until July 1.
Okay.
We have chosen several different methods because we want to make sure that we reach everybody.
Right.
So this will be one of 2 mailings that the city's paying for that will reach every resident. We've pulled a list with Public Works so that we can send that to the printer. It's a little over 21,000 folks on the list, it looks like, that will get the mailing. This one, and then one that's more specific about the service, about what kind of cans, what the bags, the bulk. We'll really get into the nitty gritty of that in the second one. We'll be running ads in the paper. We're going to use our text system that we have, emails, whatever way we can have to reach people other than writing it in the sky. We're going to use those methods.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's not bad.
I mean, if I, like spring break, the
Right.
flag that flies around,
QR
I
code
mean,
on
maybe
Yeah.
we should look at that as an option. I don't know how much that would cost. Probably not in the budget. But so yeah, if you kind of look through that, if you have any questions, definitely let us know. Our goal is just to make sure that they've heard it once, twice, 3 times to the point that they're sick of hearing about trash, and there's no way that they have not heard the changes when July 1st gets around.
And I think too, correct me if I'm wrong, Casey, is the communication is going to be more general at first and get more specific as we get close to the date.
Right.
We didn't want to give an overload of information.
Mhm.
And really what is time sensitive here is the medical exemptions.
Yes.
So we wanted that to be a focus rather than talk about can size and bags and the medical exemptions. Folks are going to have to go in and get a note from their doctor. So that's going to take a little bit of time. So we want that to be a priority. And then as we get closer to the date, we'll start talking about the finer details. I mean, BOMA hasn't voted on it yet. So we're going to get this out because no matter who we choose, this will be applicable. And after we make a final vote on service, then we'll start to get the details more fine tuned. And as we get closer to the date, the specifics will be more detailed.
Yes.
Well, and also too, just for well, not just for the alderman, but the alderman here this evening, and as well as all the rest of us up there, we need to put this on our social media, and along with your mail outs. I think that's important.
Help our wards.
Yes. So if you are just all your, what do you call them? Your friends list? Is that what it is? Or it just goes out into the public, neighbors, everything, and let them know. That would be great. Now, do you have another one of these? I don't.
Yeah, we have an extra.
Okay, thank you. We'll let the board know tonight that we've done this.
So who's going to be responsible for the medical exceptions, the exemptions?
Jeff, you get me?
When they come into the front desk and someone says, what's the process?
So we'll have copies of the form at the front desk because that's one of the things we're trying to alleviate is we've heard repeatedly when we do things like this, some people don't have internet or they don't have way to print forms. So we don't want that to be a limitation, which is why we'll have the forms available online to make it convenient for those that can do that. But for those who can't, they can stop by at the front desk and Debbie will have forms and she can give them those forms. They have to take them and get them authorized by their physician. And the process instructions are going to tell them that they bring them back to Public Works, who's going to process them and pass that list over with the form.
I just want to make it as easy as possible. I don't want it to be bureaucratic. So when the staff brainstorms about this, just look for ways to make it easier for citizens. I mean, I don't know, is it possible that they could call in? Y'all brainstorm. I'm not good on that kind of thing, but I want to make it simple and easy.
Do you mean call in the form without filling out a form, just call in the request?
When I need a prescription at my doctor, I just call my doctor and he sends the prescription to the pharmacy. You follow me?
Yeah.
Can we do something like that? Can we have a resident that says, I have a medical exemption, I have a medical condition? Well, have your doctor send in this form or something. So I don't know. We've got time to think about that. I just want the staff to always think of easier is better.
Sure.
Easier is better. So
Jesse can probably speak to it. We did have a staff member kind of run through our form and take it to a physician and talk about the process so that we could kind of verify what that would look like, how long it would take. I mean, I guess having someone call in would be a little different. I mean, there's always a way we could have the physician fax the form here versus having to bring it in. So
That's what they do on prescriptions.
a lot of times, you know, kind of like we talked about, they would still have to get the form to the physician,
Right.
but then he could fill it out and he could send it right over. I don't think that
Right.
would be a problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, sure. It's good question, actually. Because there are some people that they're not. I know of one gentleman that lives on Robin Hood Circle that all his services, he's in a wheelchair. Fine man, really. And I've known him for many, many years. And was in the military and World War II veteran. And he gets everything gone to his house. You know, if he needs something, his food and everything else that comes in. So good question. It really is. And we don't want to overlook those folks because they're fine folks. All right. Any other discussion on trash collection? Yes, ma'am.
Is the medical form live now? Okay, you'll let us know.
Yeah.
And with the code red, can you send it, or the text service, can you send images?
No.
Just a link to the images? Okay.
Yeah, I've tried touching graphics before and it won't let
That's
me
a
just
shame.
a link. I know.
Because the image that you had with the trash cans with the X's through them, I think that's going to be very
Yes,
helpful.
we're gonna pull Jesse's 8 slides describing the different ways you can do it.
The ways
We'll be
you
using
can't
that,
do
yeah,
it.
in
Yeah.
the future
Yeah, that was
communications.
funny. That was a good one though, but it
Yeah.
was good. It was good.
It's helpful. So we'll be definitely using some things like that in the future communications.
Okay.
All right. It doesn't, obviously, the communication plan is good, doesn't require a vote unless one of the other aldermen object and needing it and hearing none, so it's not necessary, but that's a good idea. I like the 2 mail outs. I think that's a really good idea. We're looking at 21,000 units that Waste Pro looks to. Let me ask you a quick question. You may not know this, but you might, or Sarah may know this. When we get, how many per month do we usually get? And then other than that, then we got to go. But just a quick question. We get new people coming in for our trash pickup. Is it really a low amount? Is it 10 or 20 or?
It fluctuates anywhere from
Okay.
like 15 to 30.
Okay.
Probably.
I was just curious. That's all right. Any other, that's the only thing that we can discuss on the special call meeting. So
Motion to adjourn.
we got to say, all right. And there's
All
a
right.
proper second. I heard you say second.
I was thinking about saying that.
So we got a motion and that's done and the meeting is adjourned at 5:53.
Casey,